We'd love to hear from you folks this morning. And, of course, what do we always say? We're beaming and streaming this morning, of course, on the radio at the 102.1 FM frequency and online at WALTmeridian.com, Facebook Live, YouTube, X, the app. We're everywhere.
Wow.
Lots of ways to keep up with us and archive us. And if Charles says something that you don't like, then it's on record.
That frequently happens.
Frequently happens.
Give me about 10 minutes. I'll say something I don't like.
Yes, Roger's not here today. You got Rob and Charles here on this Tuesday morning. So, hey, streak was good. Streak was good.
It was like 5 last week. Add 1, 6. Was there any the
there
week
was,
before, maybe?
There was one on Friday that I left.
We're talking maybe 7.
There was one on that Thursday before I left. Wow.
8? It's
impressive.
He didn't get into double digits, though.
I don't think so.
No, that's crazy. That's crazy talk.
That's crazy talk.
No, of course he didn't.
So, but yeah, Raj will be back later on this week.
He just wasn't feeling it today. Is that what happened?
Yeah, you know, that other gig kind of gets in the way sometimes.
That pilot thing.
So, got a lot to roll through here this morning. A lot on the national landscape, of course. We do know the identities of the 3 American service folks that were unfortunately killed in that drone strike there near the Jordanian border over the weekend. And 3 individuals from the state of Georgia. So we'll talk more about that coming up a little bit later on the show. And Governor Abbott and Joe Biden, the showdown continues over this razor wire on the border. Governor Abbott is not going to budge a bit on this.
I love what he's doing. That's awesome.
I mean, I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's. I saw an interview last night he had with Hannity, and he basically is saying is unconstitutional what they are trying to do to his state. Mm-hmm. And he is sitting here quoting certain portions of not just the Constitution, but the state constitution of Texas, because, you know, it is a republic. Right. And he's got a valid point. It's like, you can go ahead and cut the razor wire, but guess what? There's nothing that says I can't put more down there.
Yeah, it's going back up. Exactly. We got plenty of it.
Well, and the problem is Joe Biden doesn't understand that he has the support of a lot of GOP governors.
All of them. That are 25 at this point are all supporting him.
That are sending
anyway.
guardsmen and more razor wire. And basically, this is a Mexican showdown.
Wow, like it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, guy's got jokes, huh? Yeah, funny guy. Yeah, there you go. So, but we'll talk more about that story. We got a lot of local to get into this morning. Big work session today down at City Hall with the City Council, and that's what we're going to get into coming up shortly, because Charles, very interesting work session today. Of course, there was a story quoted while I was away on vacation last week about what's going to be discussed in the work session today, and that is local charities and donations.
Sure, yeah.
And very eye-opening information that we'll get into coming up. But before we get too far into the show, we need to thank our friends up in Philadelphia. Good folks up at Doc's Toyota. Go by and see them. I think I got audio open over here. Somebody does. Maybe. Oh, it was you. I was like, where's that coming from?
What is that? I was looking at the same thing. It's my iPad. Anyway, Doc's Toyota, new dealership. New year, they got plenty of 2024 Toyotas, Camrys, Tacomas, 4Runners, Tundras, Highlanders, Corollas, you name it. If Toyota makes it, they've got them, and they got plenty of them. They also have a huge selection of pre-owned inventory, all been through the rigorous multi-point Toyota inspection process, so you know you're purchasing a good quality car. You can check them out online at docstoyota.com. All their inventory is listed there. You can even purchase a vehicle online. How cool is that? Of course, the easiest way is just to drive up the road in Mississippi. They're on Highway 16 West. And, you know, there are many deals out there, but we like to say there is no deal like a Doc's deal.
Yes.
Check them out, docstoyota.com.
They got a great looking. I was on the website yesterday, just kind of looking around. They got a great selection on their webpage, so you can kind of preview some of that before you make the drive.
Really got some cool cars. Those Tacomas are really looking cool.
Yeah,
so,
I like the new design of those. So, but yeah, docstoyota.com. So 7:15 here at Mornings in Meridian. Our number 601-485-9191. I want to start out with this local story this morning here on Mornings in Meridian, hence the name. We want to talk about Meridian, obviously. TOK put out a story. It was it was toward the end of last week. The city council is going to have a work session today at 9:30. It's a pretty important one today. Back on December the 19th, the City Council determined the contributions they would be making in 2024. You know, we've talked about some of this in the past, whether it be with the City Council or the Board of Supervisors. They always kind of earmark some funds. You have local charities that will, come up to you and be like, hey, we would like to put a request in for local government to maybe get, contribute some funds rather. Well, during that vote, one request that was voted down was the Jimmy Rogers Foundation.
Yeah.
And this was, and here's the part that I have a problem with. It was an anonymous vote, Charles.
Oh.
That's what the News 11 is reporting here, meaning that TOK's reporting at that time did not know which members voted which way, which I think is wrong. I think they ought to be held to the fire on that, who voted against this and who voted for it.
Justify your votes.
Because you got 5 members on this council, and I would like to know who voted for what. But anyway, but it did not get at least 3 favorable votes, obviously, with the 5-member board there. The Jimmy Rogers Foundation was asking for $60,000 for the festival that has taken place in Meridian since 1953. It's amazing how long.
Longest running music festival, I believe, in the country.
Absolutely. Yeah. The City Council will be hosting a work session today at 9:30 on the 3rd floor of City Hall to give the Jimmy Rogers Foundation and others, there are others involved in this, that did not receive funding a chance to plead their cases. Now, the council and the Jimmy Rogers Foundation invite everyone to come to the work session to speak out. Obviously, with the 9:30 one, that's always kind of challenging. But Charles, what's your feelings on this? I know there's a lot of other charities I want to get into that got funds. That's very eye-opening. But what's your thoughts on first of all, the Jimmy Rogers Foundation?
Well, kind of backpedaling a little bit, it surprises me that there's a whole list of these mostly charitable organizations, museums, things like that, foundations and so on, that ask for money from the city. And you think, okay, why is the city, why are we supporting these charities through the government? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I think that, unfortunately, that's the way we've been doing it traditionally, so it's kind of like that's what is expected at this point. But I do think that Jimmy Rogers is something that we need to promote. And, the $60,000 ask, they got 0. And we can look at some of the others that did receive funds, and you think, okay, why did they and not the Jimmy Rogers Foundation? And how can they justify it? Or what's their reasoning behind it is kind of what I'd like to know. And as you say, the votes were blind or anonymous or however you want to phrase that, but we don't know who voted which way and why. And I think that we need to hold those council persons to the feet to the fire and say, why'd you vote against it? And what can we do to change your mind?
Yeah, my good friend Tammy on Facebook asked, will the meeting be live streamed? Now, the reason we chuckle at that, love the city of Meridian. I say that to say this. Sometimes they make a good attempt at putting these meetings on their YouTube page. The city of Meridian has a YouTube page where they post the videos, and sometimes they will share the link on the City of Meridian Facebook page. Now, we'll give credit where credit is due. The last couple of meetings have very much improved with the audio quality.
The audio is a big issue,
and the consistency of having the meetings up there, because especially I've said it in the past, I know it's beating the dead horse over and over and over again, 9:30 in the morning meeting on a Tuesday, January 30th. Not a lot of folks are going to be able to make it. You hope that folks will come out to, and I think these organizations that are listed we're about to talk about will obviously be there to plead their cases. But and obviously, I believe the Jimmy Rogers Foundation is going to be right at the top of that list to speak in front of the council today.
Sure, and I know Leslie will, and will speak well about it. And another thought that comes to mind when I look at this list, and there's 20 or so that have requested funds, but a lot of them, I think, okay, I'd love to see if the city is going to give, I don't know, where are we at? State Games of Mississippi, $30,000. Well, that's good. It's a good thing. It brings in a lot of, a lot of revenue for the community, and a lot of people come in. And I think it's a good way to promote the city. I think that everybody who is asking for money from the city ought to have open books. We ought to be able to
Sure,
look at what's going on with their
absolutely.
budgets, where the money's going, because that's essentially the community is investing in these. And I'm certainly not suggesting that there's anything untoward going on, but I do think that that's sort of part of it. Okay, if you're going to receive public funds, which we pay, then open the books and let's see what's going on. Where's the money going?
There is one thing that is, and I know we got folks chiming in. We got a caller on the line. Caller, appreciate you holding. We'll get to you here in just a second. Miss LaWanda McCoy just made a comment. We got comments coming in left and right about this story. One about the MBDC, and but the one that really angers me, and I'm putting it nicely.
All right.
Something is really dear and near to my heart is veterans.
Yeah.
And I think we ought to do everything we can possibly do to be sure that these individuals are taken care of in any shape, form, or fashion, because they willingly put themselves in harm's way to defend the freedoms of this country. Well, the East Mississippi Veterans Foundation, Charles, put a request in for $5,000 for their organization.
Yeah.
It got voted down. They got zero. $5,000.
So all I wanted was 5, and they got nothing.
And they got zero out of that. That is a crying shame. Shame on you, City Council. All this other stuff that you gave to, what about the veterans? 5,000. Couldn't do that? Just saying.
And how would that money be used? I mean, just to benefit veterans, or was there some project that they were looking for? We don't know the specifics of the ask, do we?
Yeah.
Or is that an annual ask that they have?
It may be. And all I can know is being associated with me personally, other veterans organizations, and being around money and budgets or whatnot. What the county does, too, is dwindling as well toward other veterans organizations. So just telling you, it's not just city government, it's also county government as well. So, but anyway, I just noticed that on the list, and I just kind of put a burr under my saddle.
Sure. Okay.
So, but anyway, but there are several other burrs that we can talk about here shortly, so especially the MAX and, yes, the EMBDC. Let's go to the phone line. Hey, caller, appreciate you holding. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. I heard you talking about open the books and let's see what the money's going for if taxpayers can contribute to it, right?
Yes,
sir.
Good one to start with that would be the MBDC. Start with them. They don't let you do that, though. They don't allow that. Now, this money for Jimmy Rogers, I mean, that ain't, you don't really want to do that. I mean, who is Jimmy Rogers? That ain't no big deal around here. Is it?
No big deal whatsoever.
Jimmy who? Right.
Not around here. Not Jimmy Rogers. I'm gonna tell you what. Now, they always tout whenever they want to do something. They want to put some money into it. Oh, we did a survey and this money is gonna return back to us tenfold. So off of that $60,000, don't tell me they wouldn't recoup all the sales tax money during that festival. $60,000 would be recouped in sales tax. And they talked about all the money it made people coming in, eating out, and doing that during the festival. How dumb was it not to vote on something like that? And these gutless cowards sitting up there and doing anonymous voting. No, that don't work that way. And I hope people make sure that there never is nothing. Now, personnel matters, or if there's a lawsuit involved, that's one thing. But when they want to get behind closed doors and not give veterans money, they should be totally exposed on that. So anyway, I'm anytime people get upset, I love to see people get upset, and they are upset about this. And I think something's going to come of it. So. Y'all keep it up. Keep it up. Now, call back a little bit. We're talking about a worthless bum named Joe Biden. They said we're going to do something about these attacks. There have been 105 attacks since October on our American service people and our ships and everything else. And this clown we got in the White House is sitting there. As far as I'm concerned, he's responsible for those deaths yesterday. Anyway, we're listening, guys. Thanks.
All right, appreciate that, Chuck. 601-485-9191. And before we get to our next caller, he mentioned the EMBDC. Yes, they are on this list. The EMBDC, Charles, you ready for this? They requested $130,000 from the city of Meridian for this upcoming year. Back on that December, what was it, 19th, I said, vote? It was somewhere mid-December, but anyway. They ended up getting $54,000 in that anonymous vote. So they didn't get the $130,000 that they requested, but they got $54,000. Now, the other one that really got my eyebrows way up, the Max is also on here as well. What's interesting about this listing from TOK, and I appreciate Jackie and them down at TOK, we're just kind of quoting their story here, but the Max, the requested amount was not available in this listing right here, but the Max ended up getting $64,000. The Max did in downtown Meridian, 64 grand. But the amount that they were requesting was not available for some reason. The Boys and Girls Club ended up getting $91,600. It was also not available as far as the amount that they initially requested for. And the Mississippi Children's Museum got voted down, not available of how much their request was as well. There was other organizations that were also defeated back in that December, the vote, that will have their opportunity to plead today to the council. Of course, I mentioned the Veterans Foundation. We mentioned the Jimmy Rogers Foundation. Jamal Roberts Ministries had a $10,000 request. They were defeated with $0. My Abba Father, not familiar with that organization here locally, $20,000 request. They got $0. The Meridian Public School Foundation, what is this, EDU Excel program? 75,000 requests, got nothing on the vote back in December. And the other organization that made a request that got $0 was the Community Training and Research Institute. Made a $65,000 request and got $0.
Well, and the Children's Museum.
And I mentioned the Children's Museum already too. Okay. So, but those are the organizations, I guess, today would have their opportunity to, I guess, plead to the council in their work session today at 9:30. So.
Definitely, and you know, there was a request from the Weschler School Foundation for $107,000, and they got $52,000. So it's a lot of money for a, and I understand the historic significance of that, but I wonder, you know, I don't know. That seems like a lot of money.
Yeah, but the ones that the ones that really jump off the screen, obviously, the Jimmy Rogers Foundation getting $0 with a $60,000 request. I know Leslie is definitely going. Leslie Lee, of course, who is spearheading the foundation there, and done a great job. Leslie's done an amazing job with Jimmy Rogers. I know she's going to be down there today pleading her case to the council. Now, the organizations that did receive funds, the Center for Pregnancy Choices, we've had them here on the program before. They do a lot of great work here in Meridian. They made a $10,000 request. They received $4,200 when all was said and done. I mentioned the EMBDC. That one jumps right off the page at you right there. Lauderdale County Habitat for Humanity, $25,000 request, got $7,000. Love's Kitchen, $10,000 request, got $7,000. Meridian Museum of Art, $5,750, got $5,400 and change right there. So basically what they asked for the most part. Multi-County Community Service Agency, $88,290 request, got $30,000. The Wesley House requested $5,000, got $5,000. I already mentioned the Veterans Foundation. I'm not going to get riled up again on that one. State Games, you mentioned that one earlier. $30,000 request, got the $30,000. Is this Weschler School Foundation? $107,000 request, got $52,400. And then, of course, Boys and Girls Club, we mentioned that one. Yeah, so we mentioned the entire list there. So a lot of big amounts there on charitable giving. I should have done my math and totaled all of the requests together, but the EMBD, $54,000 there, Charles, with the donation from the city of Meridian for the EMBDC. And I know a lot of folks are going to say, I can hear them out there right now screaming at the radio and at Facebook.
Yeah.
What are we getting on the return? I can hear them.
Yeah.
Like, if you listen closely.
Out the window, I can hear.
Out the window.
Right.
Yeah, I had to shut the window. The sun was coming in.
Good,
so.
good plan.
So,
well, and I don't know what their revenue is, the MBDC, because of all the membership. I mean, ours, for our business, runs $500 a year, something like that. And you multiply that by, I don't know, 250 businesses, 300 that are members of the chamber, essentially. Sure. Plus, I know that there's another group within the MBDC that has a kind of the elite membership, and that's I think 10,000 is the buy-in for that or something like that. So, and there's a lot of those. So it I mean, I don't know. I don't know that we're seeing the results that we want to for that kind of investment.
And once again, what did you say earlier? Let's open up the books and let's see where
Where's it going?
everything is
right.
going.
We'll give you the money. That's fine because we're giving it. I mean, I know the city council thinks they are, but it's our money. And so where's it going? What are you doing with it?
Yeah.
How's it being used?
Yeah, you're getting taxed so bad already. You have a right to know exactly. And also, you have a right to know how your council is voting as well.
We do, yeah.
I think,
It should not be done anonymously.
I think out of all of this that we just discussed, I think that's probably top of my list next to the veterans is the anonymous vote.
Right.
So I guess if they vote today, are they going to vote anonymously again today, maybe?
Well, can we watch it? Well, even so, where they have like a a secret ballot?
I know.
Fold it in a piece of paper, put it in a hat, and count them.
Here's some Fox News right now.
The House Homeland Security Committee meets this morning about advancing
Charles, I don't know if this was my best pick for Phil Collins since it's his birthday today, but it was the first thing I saw when I typed in Phil Collins.
That's a weird one. No one knows what studio is. Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think he knows.
So, yeah, he's 73 today.
Really?
Is Phil Collins. So, but, boy, it's rare that we say this. A pretty good birthday list today, by the way.
Okay.
Gene Hackman.
Really?
Legendary actor is turning. Wow, it's hard to believe. Gene Hackman is 94 today. Of course, I've been in a lot of movies. Loved him in Unforgiven with Clint Eastwood. And, yeah, he's turning 94 today. Charles Dutton, remember him from Rudy? Of course, he's 73 today. Christian Bale, of course, played in a lot of the Batman movies recently. He is turning the big 50 today.
Oh, okay.
So Batman is 50 today. Brett Butler from Anger Management, Grace Under Fire, 66 today. And, yeah, so that's pretty good list there. Gene Hackman, Christian Bale kind of topping the list there with Phil Collins.
I just watched Ford versus Ferrari. I don't know. It came out, I know, a few years ago, but I mean, he was fantastic in that. So,
And former Vice President Dick Cheney.
Oh, he of the shotgun, right?
Has made it to 83.
Okay, well, congrats for Dick Cheney.
Congrats for making 83. Right. So, well, we got a caller on the line. Before we get to that caller, we need to thank our next sponsor here on Mornings in Meridian. Folks, we really encourage you to support these local businesses because we always say shop local at the end of our show all the time. And, boy, I tell you what, I can't say enough about Jerry and Betty Purvis and Don Lucas down at Purvis Business Machines.
No, that's right. And we've had a Purvis Business Machine at the restaurant. Of course, you got them around here as well. And we've had one for years because the service is fantastic. And that's really their motto is service, not excuses, since 1979. I mean, it is one call, and they are there to repair any issues or to just bring you the supplies that you need. All you got to do is call them, 601-693-COPY, or go on their website, gopurvis.com. They got a beautiful showroom as well, 4505 Highway 39 North. They have lease return color copiers. You can save up to 85% on those, just gently used. And it's like you're getting a brand new copier for just 15% of retail value. So, and the big thing with Purvis is document management. They connect everything to that printer, scanner, copier, and they are experts in doing so. Give them a call, 601-693-COPY. Purvis Business Machine Service, not excuses, since 1979.
All right, let's go to the phone line. Hey, caller, appreciate you holding. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Rob. How y'all today?
Hey,
all right, how you doing?
What's going on?
It's great, man. I tell you, you really hit a nerve with this what they funded thing with me, especially the veterans. I agree with you 100%.
Yes.
But I want to ask about the max because
you sure do.
You remember the vote that we had that was in one spot? City Hall, one day, and it passed, of course, and very few people actually voted. But that's what is supposed to actually, I think, fund the max. But also, how many people are members? My wife and I are members. We pay each year for that.
Yeah.
And the only thing that I guess since I've retired, I've been down there 2 or 3 times buying tickets for Sip and Savor and different things. I just noticed if you go down in the middle of the week, say around 10, 11 o'clock in the morning, there's nobody there other than the workers. I just don't know if we're getting the traffic through there. But at the same time, I don't see them applying for and receiving more government aid than we're already giving them.
Right.
Okay? And then, I have to agree with, was it Charles that made mention this morning?
Yeah.
That, should government even be involved in this at all? Should our tax dollars go to charitable organizations anyway?
Well, dadgummit, the taxes are going up every single year, both in the county and the city. I mean, they tax you just on about everything, and it's going up. And now we want to know where all this is going.
And the total of the give, I didn't calculate the ask, but the give was $350,000.
So there you go, Tony. We did the math. 350 was the requested amount of all these.
That was the given amount.
That was the given amount.
Right. Requested, I didn't
requested.
Add all that.
So that's how much money was given, and that's not including what could potentially go down today at the work session
with the appeals right. So,
well, like I say, it's no rhyme or reason how they come up with what they're gonna give and to who. Some of the organizations on there that have requested and received, I'm 100% supportive of.
I think the guy that runs Boys and Girls Clubs does a wonderful job there. You can't deny that. And so they're a very good organization. But at the same time, you know, the Max and the veterans thing, and why, if they're going to give it to the Max, why nothing for the Children's Museum right down the street?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I don't understand how this was arrived and what was the criteria of whether you get it or not. And then this Wessler School, what is that? I mean,
that's why when I got to this list and I read that, I went, what is this? Am I even saying it right? So
I don't even know what it is.
Well,
and why would we give them money? I mean,
yeah, they're getting
what's the money go for?
Yeah, they're getting $52,400, and the request was $107,000.
Well, like I say, you know, it's just, you know, you hit the nail on the head, Rob, with the veterans thing, and then
it's
my thing,
it's fine.
About the taxes.
You know, if we're going to throw money around everywhere, $5,000.
Yeah,
we can't do that. I mean, really?
Yeah, that's right. And there again, you know, maybe we ought to just give everybody $5,000.
Come on,
you know,
I'll take
just
it.
let it go at that.
Yeah,
you know, just let it go at that. You know, and everybody request gets $5,000. That's the match. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. You want money? That's it.
And not get all this stuff. And there again, EMBCD. You know, I have to say, guys, with all this stuff coming into Mississippi, and like this new battery plant up in Corinth or wherever up in North Mississippi. And why we can't get some kind of smokestack industry that's going to employ hundreds of people, I just can't understand. So anyway,
well, that's the $54,000 question, and then some.
Right. Exactly. So anyway, guys, good job. I appreciate y'all bringing it. But you know, if you would again read the list publicly as to what everybody is getting
Absolutely.
and who requested and not getting anything. I think if you read the entire list, it goes a long way, because I read it online on Facebook the other day. Some lady posted it, and I was, again, my blood was boiling like you, Rob, especially on the veterans. But thank y'all for bringing that to our attention, and good job. And I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, appreciate it, Tony. All right, 601-485-9191. But, yeah. So what was that amount again that they are giving already?
$350,000, $350 and change, $640, something like that. And the Wessler School Foundation was the first brick building built for African American students in the state of Mississippi. So it does have some historic significance. But you know, that's $52,000 going to them, and the ask was $107,000. And certainly we need to maintain these historic buildings, especially when they have some significance like that. But that sure seems like a lot of money. Especially when you're looking at 0 for Jimmy Rogers and 0 for the vets.
Let's go back to the phone line.
Yeah.
I'm going to take a breath here.
All right.
Good morning, caller. Welcome in.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I thought I'd see if I can get lucky and call in and get in line.
I feel like
I know a lot
Take
more
a number.
about the EMPDC than I do. Can you explain exactly how they're funded? Do they draw a salary? And why in the hell should they get money from the city? You know?
No, we can't explain that.
No, nobody can.
You know, I mean, a lot of the funds come from memberships. Basically, you're a member of the Chamber of Commerce. That's kind of what the EMBDC is. That's their function. And so I know we as a business pay about $500 a year. And there, I don't know how many members there are, 300, 400, something like that.
Do they get a salary?
Oh, yeah. And there are, I think, 3 or 4 employees.
And that's paid by who?
That's paid by the membership dues, I believe, and also, well...
Yeah, because I'm looking at the NBDC
website from the city.
Yeah, I'm looking at the NBDC website right now. Of course, they have their listing of board of directors here. Of course, Bill Hanna is the president/CEO. They've got, Dan... Confate?
Confate, yeah.
Confate, he is the membership director. Debbie Mathis is listed on here, and Matt Shanrock with the Meridian Main Street director. Of course, Meridian Main Street used to be a City of Meridian organization, but now it's been influxed into the NBDC. So I guess that's their
I don't know if it's an
staff.
affiliate or how that works.
How that
I think
works.
They've got those are the only 4 that I know. There may be a secretary or somebody else involved in kind of some.
But those are the
tasks,
4 that are listed on their site. So.
So it's not really a government agency.
I think it's quasi-governmental, funded by public and also private funds, through membership and that sort of thing.
Yeah, because they have a listed on here. They have an EMBDC board of directors, a EMBDC foundation board of directors, and then at the very bottom of the page, a bank president's advisory council is also on here as well. So a lot of local banks have folks involved in that as well. So
well, and if you're going to finance new business, then I suppose that's a suitable organization for that. Now that you did say a foundation board.
Yeah, the MBDC Business Foundation Board of Directors. Is listed on the
and
website.
I believe that there is another organization within the MBDC or within the membership that may be the foundation where I think the price or the fees are about, it was I think $10,000 up front to join that. I don't know how many members of that there are though.
Yeah. So there you go. There's a little insight there.
I wouldn't
not
say
much
there's
though.
too many blue collar people out there stuffing $10,000 in there at a time.
I don't think so. Well, I got a gray collar on today, and I'm stuffing $10,000 in there.
It sounds like an upper crust organization if there ever was one.
Well, I mean,
can y'all think of anything that they even brought to this town of any substance in the last 10 years?
20, 30.
Any factories?
There's the BWI in Meridian.
And it's interesting. It's
And
interesting
that was
here.
due to their recruitment?
I don't know. I don't know what their involvement was with that.
Of
course, Castle moved downtown. Their headquarters are here. They used to be, I guess, out in, I think, Clark County. So they did move into the city. And that certainly employs a few. And we did get the hardware building renovated downtown. And then, we're looking at, restaurants, that sort of thing. So, beyond that, I'm not sure.
Well, it's like on the, a lot of things are on websites now, and I'm just quoting what I see on the website here. When you click on a link here and it says existing industry, and like I said, I don't know how much of this industry the MBDC had an impact on bringing here to Meridian, but a lot of these businesses have been here for a long time, and I don't know when the MBDC was brought into existence, but a lot of these industries...
After they changed the name of it from the partnership.
There you go. So, but a lot of these, like they got the Naval Air Station on here. They've got Rush Health Systems. They got City of Meridian, Walmart stores. They got the school districts on here as far as major employers in Lauderdale County, and then they have industry employers, but a lot of these businesses, I still wonder, were they brought here on the coattails of the MBDC or not?
Well, pardon me if I'm skeptical of it, but I just can't remember any time the news said anything about them of any substance. And when they start begging for taxpayers' money, I think that whole system needs to be trashed. I mean, there's a lot more things we could be doing better with that money, like paving the rest of the roads in this town that need paving.
But
picking up the trash. Good God Almighty, there's so much. It looks like a C-130 flew over Meridian and exploded with garbage.
But it's
just everywhere. It's awful.
But that
But anyway.
But that North Hill Street is nice, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And my hat goes off to the people that do pick it up for the city. There's not very many of them, but buddy, they stay busy.
Yeah. So
I pick it up for the county in front of my house. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, my little patch of grass is clean too. So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I was just calling about that. I had no idea that they had their hat out for that too.
Yeah.
But I just didn't know how it worked, or if it was funded by the taxpayers or what. But I just don't see a whole lot of production for what they, I don't know. I just don't.
And I do think that, you bring up a great point that the one area that seems to be lacking is attracting new businesses. Now, they do support existing businesses, and, they do have resources available for those kind of entrepreneurs that are looking to start. Say somebody wants to start a restaurant or, computer repair shop, whatever it is. There are resources available through the MBDC for that. So certainly they have a role in that, and I think they're effective in that regard. But it's where are the big businesses, where are the big factories, where's the battery factory or whatever it is that, the Amazon call center they're building out in Canton. Right, exactly. So, and that's where we're really not seeing the results that we expect.
And it is interesting, too. There's another portion of this website, when you start to peel this onion back a little bit more, they have property sites on here. There's 6 sites that are listed on here. I'm assuming these would be sites that industry could go into. Of course, the Meridian I-2059 Industrial Park is on here.
Yeah.
Of course, that's I-20 and Highway 45. That is a max site, max size of 413 acres. You got the Sonny Montgomery Industrial Area. There's 102 acres. And other than that, it's existing spots here. Southern Pipe and Supply, Key Brothers Aviation Site, Atlas Fertilizer Company, and the Dickey Clay Pipe Site, which is located at 5919 First Street, which is just over 32 acres there as well. So I'm assuming since they have that listed on the site, these are these are industry sites.
And these are things that we're talking about is that we want industry to come here. And so if for the 54,000 if there was a kind of an audit as to where that money was going and what it was being used for, and saying, hey, we've got this thing that's about to sign with us. We just need 54,000 to make it happen, and it does happen. Hey, I'm all for it. And give them the money, but let's be transparent about that. Let's be open and say this is what the money's being used for. Yeah, instead of just going to the general fund because that's our ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, anytime there's an anonymous anything, my radar goes up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when I read that line in the article where it said it was an anonymous vote, I said, you know what? Shame on you folks. Yeah. Shame on you.
Well, that's the same council that got rid of the police chief.
Yeah.
What was his name?
Chris Reed.
You know, for no apparent reason. No apparent reason. And failed to mention that 2 weeks earlier he busted a meth ring.
Yeah. Yeah, sure did.
Yeah.
So.
But I think he was just the wrong color personally, but I don't know. You know, the truth, let it lay where it lays. But the truth be the truth. But they had no reason to get rid of that man. He was doing a good job.
Absolutely. So.
But anyway, Chris Reed.
Yeah, Chris Reed. Yeah, exactly.
Chris
so.
Reed.
All right. Well, hope we got you riled up enough.
That's right.
I'm waiting for the Has to really get
The Has is brewing.
Oh, no.
Has,
I feel it too.
Has is in the. I think Has just looked at the clock and he said it may be a little too late in the 7 o'clock. He's warming up in the bullpen. He's getting ready.
So. There's a disturbance in the force. That's what it is.
I feel it.
It's like Darth Vader. Yeah, he's
calling. Yeah, what was it yesterday? I want the sand to be wet with blood and tears.
Good Lord. All right,
y'all have a good one. I'm listening.
All right, thanks, appreciate it. 601-485-9191. Let's thank our friends down at Trucker Supply. Of course, the Carr family, a fantastic business here in Meridian. And, boy, you want to support local, support the Carr family at Truckers.
No doubt. One-stop shop for all your tools. They got Kinepix tools, which are like channel locks on steroids. A full room of Milwaukee tools, everything that they make and made right here in the state of Mississippi. Everything you would need that Milwaukee makes. And, of course, I do. You don't need those Stanley cups. Get a Yeti cup. Yeti! Keep your coffee hot all day long, or your beer cold, or whatever you got in there. And, of course, they've got the Hot Sea pressure washers as well. We're almost getting into pressure washing season.
Close.
Yes, indeed. Go see the Cars down at Trucker Supply, and they're 519 Highway 19 South. Of course, they got a great website, too, truckersupply.com.
Let's go back to the phone line. This has been a busy morning so far. Hey, caller, good morning to you.
Did anyone mention the MBDC largest contributor?
No.
Try the county.
Uh-oh.
Try to get that figure. It was over 100,000 at one time, and plus the office they're located. It wasn't in the multimodal, which the city was paying for, the upkeep and everything, and giving them free rent down there at the multimodal. But I think they moved to an even better location at the taxpayers' expense where they're located now, I believe. But, yeah, you can check on that. The county was given, I'm pretty sure it's over $100,000 to them. And as far as what the caller asked what they brought in, they couldn't draw flies if they wanted to. You got an organization that's been there. Their main thing, now I guess they think their main thing is cutting ribbons, but their main thing is to bring in jobs. And if you look at dollars spent per jobs acquired by them, it's ridiculous how poor a job they have done, but still getting paid. But you know, every now and then they'll get into the director. Oh, we're fit to take off now. We got this new guy that's gonna do everything, do this and do that. But you know, it's just a major expense on the back of the taxpayers. while they draw those big salaries. But anyway, thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
Okay.
just got a message from a source here. Says I believe the county cut their funding to the EMBDC. Not sure exactly
Okay.
what that amount is, but I think the county did cut some of the funding. We'll try to get a figure on that as well.
Sure.
Reach out to one of the board members there.
Sure.
I've got a Rolodex of their numbers, so I'm gonna randomly select one as they all go.
Not me. Not me.
Not me.
Don't call on me. Yeah.
It's been a while since I texted JJ Anders.
I saw him down the road the other day, so yeah.
He's like, no,
He's
not
like,
me.
I don't know. I'm new. How would I know? Yeah, that's
You
right.
know what,
I'll find
JJ
out.
Anders?
JJ.
The honeymoon is over. Just messing. I love
it's
old.
still the honeymoon. Come
I
on now.
love JJ to
Yeah,
death. So
I love him.
let's go to the phone line. Hey, caller. Good morning to you.
What's going on today, guys?
Morning.
Just stirring the pot and then
Yeah.
some.
I'll help you stir that joker.
Come
Oh,
on
I
in
think,
here.
Bring it.
Most sales jobs, and that's really what they're doing, is they're trying to sell Meridian and the people here. Most sales jobs work on commission basis. I have not seen anything that they brought in that would warrant being paid a salary. That business should be totally funded by commission based. Then you get what you pay for.
Good idea.
Yeah.
I like it.
So anyway, just my opinion.
All right.
We know what everybody's got one of them.
That's
Yeah.
right. Exactly.
Some people got 2 or 3.
Well,
Yeah.
appreciate you chiming in.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate that. 601-485-9191. So, yeah, but the topic of conversation this morning is not just the MBDC. It's the list of the folks that were back in a December vote that are getting contributions from the city of Meridian, your tax dollars out there in the city of Meridian to go to fund, not fully fund, but some of the donations are going to go to help fund some projects or whatever they're going to go to for organizations here in Meridian. Of course, the big one that we have discussed this morning has been the Jimmy Rogers Foundation. Made a $60,000 request back in December. It was voted down anonymously by the city council, and they're going to get their opportunity to speak and plead their case at the work session today at 9:30. I know we're kind of running up against the 8 o'clock hour here in Fox News, but we will read that list to you again coming up after the Fox News break this morning in case you missed it. It's a very lengthy list, and you did the total of the amount that was given, and we'll do the requested amount as well. But the only thing about it is there was 3 organizations that did not have their available funds that they requested on the list that was here from TOK.
But you can imagine that it would be more than the amount given
sure.
or equal to.
Sure.
But
so, and of course, one of those was the Children's
We've
Museum.
got nothing, so they requested more than nothing.
Yeah.
We're pretty sure.
And you had the Boys and Girls Club on there, and the Max were those 3 that did not have an available amount requested on the list provided from News 11 on their site. So,
and of course, the 4th largest grant given was to the Weschler School Foundation, which was $52,000, and that's. The others, I mean, you've got, of course, the Boys and Girls Club, and I think that's a great organization. The Max got $64,000, and then the EMBDC at $54,000, and then the Weschler School got $52,400. So, that's a lot of money going to an organization or a foundation that not a whole lot of people know about. So I had to look it up and see what it was. I mean, everything else is like I know exactly what those things do and what their function is and how effective they are. So,
I'm glad you did because that's the one. Whenever I saw it on the list, I was kind of like, "What is that?"
Yeah, exactly.
So, but and a lot of people are asking, "What's this money going to?"
Yeah. Well, that's it. You're gonna give them money, then tell us exactly where every penny is getting spent.
The one word that always seems to disappear in stuff like this: transparency.
Oh yes.
So we'll take a break. We'll be back. All right, welcome back into Mornings in Meridian here on this Tuesday, January the 30th. Thanks for making us a part of your morning. Of course, lots of ways to stay connected to the show. Of course, we welcome your calls at 601-485-9191. We're on Facebook Live right now. Hello, folks. And we're on WALTmeridian.com there. You can stream the audio there. We're on X. We're on YouTube. We'll send a smoke signal up. We're on the app.
TikTok? We on TikTok?
We'll send a
Unless
letter
I
in
get
the
on
mail.
TikTok.
We'll do whatever.
Really?
Don't say I'm not doing TikTok.
Oh, it's that Chinese thing.
That's the one I'll fight.
Instagram.
I will
on that
not
either.
do that TikTok.
LinkedIn. Anybody even on LinkedIn anymore? MySpace. Where are we?
MySpace. Poor MySpace.
I know, it's tragic.
11 minutes into the hour here on Mornings in Meridian. Of course, it has been a very hot show this morning involving the City Meridian's work session, which is coming up next hour at 9:30 on the third floor of City Hall, involving local charities and contributions. And we're going to see how that all shakes out a little bit later on. We'll read the list coming up that we read last hour. I think we need to do that at least one more time before we get out of here at 9 o'clock. But let's go back to the phone line, hear from you folks out there at 485-9191. Hey, caller, welcome in.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are y'all doing today?
Hello,
Good morning.
Zane.
I got an idea for a radio contest.
Oh, boy.
Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
Big money. Win $5,000 for the winner. How long is it going to take to get a bullet hole in the Jumbotron?
You mean on the Max?
You mean out at Race Stadium?
Oh, on the
Yeah.
Race Stadium.
Yeah,
one.
the new
Oh.
scoreboard thing. Oh, no.
Who's putting up the $5,000 is what I want to know.
Well, I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I got the
mean,
article here.
I
We'll
guess
get into that.
WALT,
Maybe
that'd
we
be a
get the
cool
city
contest.
council to put it up because they're just throwing money away, apparently.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. It says board members voted this is not the city council. This is the school board.
Okay.
Voted 4-0 to accept the lowest bid of $536,500 from Mitchell Signs on the recommendation of M&P Design Group for the Ray Stadium scoreboard replacement project, which is being funded through the district's budget.
$500,000.
$500,000 for a scoreboard.
Yeah. Let's say $530,000. $500,000 plus $30,000
Right. Huh.
for a jumbotron. That's going to get used. What, 6 home games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's going to end up with a bullet hole in it. And I'm going to say 9 days. That's going to be my guess. So write that down for
9
the
days.
big
All right.
contest.
All right.
9 days.
We got the pool going.
Until
Zane's
the
got
shot
9.
is fired into the board. I got a better idea here. How about we worry about how many points the home team is putting on the board first,
That would be, again,
and then
important.
let's get a scoreboard.
Right. If it shows a loss, then that's
Well,
not-
what they're going to do here,
Anyway.
quoting the article here from Glenda Sanders in the Meridian Star, it said the new state-of-the-art LED scoreboard will have a giant video board similar to other schools, because we have to get what other folks have. And one thing they are going to do, they're going to sell sponsorships on the they have like little ad panels. You see these on a lot of the high school
Oh, yeah.
scoreboards, and they sell spots on the outfield wall at ball fields and stuff like that. So I guess they're going to get sponsorship dollars out of this, but I don't think they're going to get enough to cover $536,000.
No, it's going to take a few years to do that.
No, not before it gets a bullet hole in it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you go with a bullet hole.
And then you got to fix the other ad panel because it's got a bullet hole in it.
Right.
Yep, that's it. So, I don't know. I question the school districts around here are just crazy because they're autonomous and they're crazy, and it's just scary how much money they can spend.
Well, and
They
you
need
think
more
that
money, they just go ask for millage.
right, and
Yeah.
I mean, the focus should be obviously on academics and security for the students, and a scoreboard is nice, and isn't that fancy? But you know what? Let's make sure that the kids are safe and that they're getting a good quality education.
Well, kind of peeling back this meeting a little bit more, of course, they did announce they have hired a football coach out there.
Yeah.
Shelton Gandy is coming. Shelton's a great coach. I got to know him when he was at Wayne County. He is being hired as the football coach, and they discussed his pay during the meeting. And I think what they have discussed here is 5 days a week through June the 30th in the current year. He's going to get $260 per day. Gray currently works under the contract in another district, which I think he is with the Quitman School District is where he is at right now. The total expense for retaining Gandy is not to exceed $30,000, and funding will come from, obviously, the athletic budget. In other business, the MHS School District talked about the addition of the baseball-softball complex they announced last week. The total cost of that project is more than $8.9 million and is being funded from the school bond approved by the voters in August of 2022. So there you go. So a lot of
where are they going to build that at?
That's a good question. I remember at one point they said it was going to be near campus, but there's not a lot of.
I thought it was going to be attached. And that was
that's
the
what
point
I
of the
thought.
security and things like that. But yeah, where would they? Unless they're acquiring more property, but I don't know that there's any vacant land over there.
I'm not quite done yet.
Oh, yet there's more.
In a separate action, the school board approved the construction contract with J&J Construction, which was also announced at last week's regular board meeting. That J&J was the lowest bidder on a 2-classroom addition to Crestwood Elementary School. The project, expected to cost more than $2.6 million, is being funded through federal pandemic relief funds.
Wow!
So there you go. So we're going to use the pandemic relief funds for the school, but we're going to use but the school bonds going toward the athletic stuff.
Shut Crestwood down.
2 classrooms. $1 million, over $1 million.
Or 2
per
classroom buildings, I believe they said.
Yeah, it's a bit of 2 classroom addition to Crestwood Elementary is what
Just
the article.
2 classrooms?
So what it says, this is 2 classroom addition to Crestwood Elementary. That's how they typed it up here in the
nice
Star.
classrooms.
Yeah,
Shoot.
it may be a typo in the Stars part there.
$1 million a classroom.
Yes, sir.
Boy, I need to get in the construction business.
Right, or go back to school. Either way, man. Shoot.
So Zane,
Zane,
as you're down there doing your graphic stuff today, you can see how much money is being slung around all over Meridian today.
Yep, that's it. And they're slinging it crazy.
Yeah.
And doesn't go where it needs to go. That veteran thing gets me.
Yeah, that's one thing that got me pretty riled up earlier. It's not going.
And the ask was not a lot. It was $5,000.
$5,000, man. I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say this: if the veterans are not down there pleading today, and I'm not sure if they will or not, I'll plead for them right here. City Council, $5,000. If you can't do $5,000 for these folks, then
when you've given $350,000 for other things,
exactly
aren't as worthy.
Yeah, and you give the max money, and they're already getting money. We're already paying them every day when we eat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So come on, City Council, $5,000. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
step it up.
I don't know. It's just that's the government for you.
Yeah, it's
I
our
got
government.
a buddy of mine that he's like me, lives out of the county, and he's wanting to get a political action committee together to push to get some new people in Meridian, the people that can't vote, to throw money together to try to influence things. And I'm seriously thinking about that.
Well, I mean, haven't we said that for years? I mean, folks that do live in the county that own or operate a business here in Meridian, you don't have a whole lot of say when it comes to elections, period, in the paragraph.
We're disenfranchised.
So, exactly.
And we've got more at stake than anybody that lives here, and we have no voice.
Darn right. So, not a bad idea. I like it.
Yep. So, all right. Well, put me down for 9 days.
9 days. We got you.
And,
you got the 9
that's
day
just
spot.
a wild guess, and I'll probably be a week late on that. But anyway, and
I already got 2 days, so
2 days. Oh, 2 days.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So okay. Well, maybe you can get some sponsors on that. They'll probably get a downtown restaurant to sponsor that.
I doubt it.
Half of it.
I'll call Marshall. See what we can
Is
do.
this connection bad? Hello. All right, Zane. Appreciate you.
You guys have a wonderful day. Take care.
I love it. Wow. Yeah, that was another story I was going to bring up was the new scoreboard that they're going to put up out there at
$500,000. Wow. But of course, now we just talked about the baseball and softball facility.
Yeah, 8.9. $8.9 million. That's from the school bond.
So we're looking at $10 million. I know, but still, I mean, and facilities like that are important, and of course, athletics is an important component of education. But fundamentally, education is about teaching,
Yeah.
And, but athletics is important. The arts are important, for goodness sake. So, all of those things kind of come together. But, boy, it sure seems that athletics takes precedence over academics sometimes.
It's amazing how that works.
Mm-hmm. Well, it happens in college, too. I mean, shoot.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah.
It sure does.
Thank you, Nick Saban. Right. Had to bring up that name again.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You don't bring up Nick's name.
Uh-oh.
You stop it. There you go.
That's sacrilegious.
Getting back to our story that we were kicked off the show with this morning, City Council is going to have a 9:30 work session today. And also, we do have some clarification from the county as well about what they do for the MBDC. We're going to hang on to that one for just a moment here because I want to go back over this list today. Back in mid-December, the City Council anonymously voted, which I know how we all feel about that, to basically they took requested amounts from various organizations here in the Meridian area. These are charitable donations that were looking for funds from the city of Meridian. Amount requested from the Center of Pregnancy Choices, $10,000 request. They got approved for $4,200. The Community Training and Research Institute.
What is that?
Requested $65,000. They got zero.
No,
so they will have an opportunity to plead their case today at 9:30. East Mississippi Business Development Corporation. Boy, they've been mentioned a lot this morning. Amount requested $130,000. They were approved for $54,000. Now I want to stop right there because we did get some clarification from one of the Board of Supervisor members that he was 99.97% sure.
Right, yeah. Which was almost 100%.
Which is almost
Not
100%.
Quite, but yeah.
That as far as giving to a general fund from the county to the MBDC, the board has completely cut that out.
But they will help with special asks, I guess.
Special asks. Yeah. So as far as giving a large amount from the Lauderdale County General Fund to the MBDC, pretty much 100% sure that's not happening.
No mas.
So there you go. So that we got clarification on that. Lauderdale County Habitat for Humanity made a $25,000 request, $7,000 received. Love's Kitchen, $10,000 request, got 7. Meridian Museum of Art, $5,750 request, received $5,440. The Meridian Public School Foundation, Education Excel, I'm assuming that's what that is. $75,000 request, got 0. So they will have an opportunity to go before the council. Multi-County Community Service Agency, $88,290 request, received $30,000. My Abba Father, not familiar with that organization. Amount requested $20,000, got defeated, 0. So they will have an opportunity today. Wesley House, $5,000 request, got the $5,000. The Veterans, East Mississippi Veterans Foundation, $5,000 request, got 0. And I sure as heck hope they go in front of the council today. Jamal Roberts Ministries, $10,000 request, 0. They'll have an opportunity. And the big one, obviously, Jimmy Rogers Foundation, $60,000 request, 0. So we already know that they are definitely going in front of the council today to discuss that. State Games of Mississippi, $30,000 request, got it. Wessler School Foundation, $107,000 request. That was the one we had to do a little bit of research on. $52,400. And these next know the amounts that were requested, but they all received funds with the exception of one. Boys and Girls Club, $91,600. Not sure how much they request, but that's how much they were approved from the council. The Max, not available of how much they requested, but they did receive $64,000 in a contribution from the city of Meridian. And the Mississippi Children's Museum, not available of how much they received, or actually requested rather, but they received 0. And then Project Inspire had just over, well, nearly a $17,000 request and got approved for 0. But it's interesting, and you mentioned this earlier, the eye-opening thing toward the end of that list is the Max gets $64,000, but the Children's Museum gets 0.
Yeah.
Interesting, right? At the
it is, especially when the Max already has a 2% tax going to
exactly.
them, so the Children's Museum does not. But once again, the big thing to me is the 4th largest grant was given to the Wessler School Foundation, and I don't think I'd really looking for a further explanation. I mean, I looked at the website, and it doesn't really. It talks about how it's an historic brick school, the first brick school built for African American students in the state of Mississippi. That's nice. Okay, but why is the city council giving it $52,000?
Yeah,
and 0 for the vets and 0 for Jimmy Rogers. Boys and Girls Club, I mean, Riccio does a great job down there. So, you know, I can understand that. That is a lot of money. That's the lion's share. I mean, that's almost, well, probably a quarter of all of the grant money given was to the Boys and Girls Club. So, you know, that's just, I guess, justified, maybe. It's still a lot, and I hate to see governments funding these organizations anyway, because it's
a fair point.
Well, that's the role of government is to govern, not to disperse money throughout the community into organizations that need charitable help. That's why we have United Way and a variety of other organizations like that distribute funds, you know, collect charitable contributions and then give them to those that are in need.
And like I said, and I love how you put that. We're not saying we're against any of these organizations, and I'm pretty sure they all play a role here in Meridian.
They do, yes.
But you go back to the point, and I go back to the point as well. Government deciding to use your hard-earned tax dollars, and boy, for some of you folks out there, it's very much hard-earned.
Yeah.
To use in these types of ways, it leaves you kind of scratching your head a little bit.
Sure, as you're driving over a pothole and going, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Why are we giving money there? And I will say that there are a couple of what seem to be religious organizations. I have a father, and I think there was another one.
Yeah, there was another. I can't remember which one it
Jamal
was.
Robertson Ministries. And I'm sure they're doing great work.
Sure,
but, you know, that's getting into I don't know, strange bedfellows if you've got government funding ministries and things like that. But anyway, I'm not sure what the ask was for or anything else. It doesn't list that. And, of course, none of them list what the ask specifically is for, if it's for, you know, just general funds or if it's for a specific project.
Just to go into some details about how the vote went down back in mid-December. And, of course, I hate to put the conspiracy theory hat on again.
Here we go. I got to get on Twitter for that one. Oh, X, I'm sorry.
It's X.
Ain't no Twitter no more.
A vote on December the 19th. Were a lot of people really paying that much attention?
Well, I was not.
December the 19th. No.
Yeah, we were busy.
Christmas time.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the hustle and bustle.
Right.
Let's see if we can slide this on vote in.
Anonymously.
Just like my $168 on my trash bill.
There we go. There we go. Bring it up. Let's vote at the schools.
Yeah, each council member had the ability to select to either give to a group or to not give. If 3 or more council members voted to give, then the amount each member decided on would be added up to create a total of how much money they think should be given to the group. After that total is tallied, the city would then divide it by 5 because there are 5 members sitting on the council. After the total is divided, the amount at the end would be the amount allocated to that group.
Oh, jeez.
So we have some. So we have a formula for this.
Why don't they just say, "Hey, I motion that we give him 5,000. I second, or no, I disagree. We ought to give him this, and this is why."
No, we got to divide this. Carry
well, you
the
take
one
the
and
total,
the 4.
right? Exactly. The square root. What are they talking about? I mean, and let it be out in the open. Discuss it. Say the merits of it are this. This is why we need to do it, you know?
Bottom line is when you live in live in the county, the city, whatever, you want good roads, you want good police protection, you don't want to have to pay high taxes, which, you know, that's always a tough one to bite because, you know, of where we're at right now in this economy. But those first two things I think are huge. We want good roads to drive on, and we want good police protection.
And we like good schools.
And we like good schools,
and we
too.
like factories coming here.
And then when you add all of that, but when you add all of that in,
they start coming.
Look at where we're at in the city of Meridian. Roads, we're getting there.
Okay,
we're getting there.
Fair enough.
Police protection.
What? Huh?
You can fill in the blank how you want to.
Right.
Schools. Are we getting better?
We seem to be.
We seem to be. So there's still improvement there, but let's focus on that. Let's focus on that.
I agree. Yeah.
Because people want to feel safe.
Fundamentally, that's it.
Exactly. So we're going to take a break here on Mornings in Meridian. Been a hot show this morning, and it's only going to get hotter. At 485-9191, got some comments coming in on Facebook as well. So it's been a busy show, work session today at 9:30. If you can, be there. A little quarter flash this morning. Of course, guitarist from the band, Marv Ross, is 72 today.
Oh, Marv, is he?
Yeah,
Okay.
72
I have no idea who
today.
that is.
Of course, I mentioned Phil Collins is 73 today. Christian Bale, 50. And Gene Hackman, 94.
Wow.
Of course, played Lex Luthor at one point in some of the Superman
Hoosiers,
movies.
though. That
Yeah,
was his,
Hoosiers.
that
Man,
was the
Norman
role, man.
Dale.
Of course.
Oh, great stuff. One of my
Yeah.
favorites. So if you're celebrating a birthday here on this 30th day of January, what does Roger always say? Go out and get yourself something nice.
Get yourself some nice.
485-9191. Of course, been a very busy show this morning. Talking about the work session coming up in less than an hour down at the third floor of City Hall with the City Council. Let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, good morning.
Hey, good morning, y'all. I hope there's not a limit on how many times you can call.
No limit.
No. Get a hobby.
I just wanted to call and tell y'all that y'all do a pretty good job. I think everybody needs to hear that every now and then when they're doing a good job. And I got thinking, I said, I don't ever hear anybody call in and tell them they're doing a good job. But y'all are pretty well informed when I threw those questions out at y'all this morning. Pretty good job.
Yeah, we did reach out to one of the Board of Supervisors members, J.J. Andrews, and he said he was 99.7% sure, and that's directly quoting J.J., that the Board of Supervisors does not give any money, general funding money, to the EMBDC. They've cut that completely out.
Well, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah. Now, as far as and Charles, what did he say about special?
There are asks that they have sometimes, whether that's to pave a road or something like that for a new business coming in or to set a site ready, but that they're specific asks for specific projects or events or something like that they would need funding for.
Well, I'm all with y'all about the transparency. I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If I'm going to write somebody a check, I want to know where it's going to.
Exactly.
Well, I stand by what I said a few minutes ago. I mean, folks want the basic things in their lives when it comes to their government. That's just the basic three. And there's others too, but we just want the basic things to operate smoothly.
I agree.
Yep.
But when things are anonymous and things are hard, the truth is hard to find out, you can't help but be skeptical.
Yeah, absolutely. When I read the word anonymous vote, I was like,
why?
What?
Yeah.
We don't vote any other thing anonymously. Why this one?
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. The truth will set you free. At least that's what they say.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if we'll know the truth. So
with this, we probably won't.
Yeah.
Well, all I can
ask old Bill about that, see if it set him free.
I love Hillary. I promise you I do.
I tell you,
That was not the truth.
Keeps on giving, and then we need him back in the news.
I love Hillary, especially when I go to bed at night.
Right, with somebody else.
There's not enough tequila in the world, but
No
way.
No.
Oh, wow.
All right, y'all have a good one.
See ya.
I'd bring that up.
Keep on doing a good job.
Man.
See you later.
Appreciate you out
Can't
there.
get that image out of my mind now.
I tell you, every time I go to eat a meal, I love Hillary because you don't know what's in that meal.
Yeah.
601-485-9191 is our number here on Mornings in Meridian. But I know this has been mainly the lone story that we have talked about this morning. And the reason I wanted to bring it up, I know it was a story that was released last week, but I thought it was important to remind folks that this meeting was coming up today, and especially at 9:30 this morning. I'm assuming the city will be streaming that on YouTube. They have a YouTube channel. They have a Facebook page. They've streamed other meetings in the past. I'm hoping that they do that today for the 9:30 work session today, because it's going to be interesting to see, Charles, with some of these organizations. I'm not sure how many of these folks that we've mentioned that did not get any money in the initial vote back in mid to late December, how many of those folks will be down there today to, I guess, plead their case to the council? So, and here's my thing. If they go down and plead their case, which we know for sure one is, will they vote in public in front of that person or not?
Right.
Are they going to keep this all anonymous like they did the other vote?
Well, I'd imagine they would do the same thing. But who knows? Maybe there's been some, they got some feedback, some backlash, and they opt to do it in a more, open candid way. You know, what gets me, though, is that they gave out $350,000, okay? And since when do they collect our money to distribute it to different organizations, whether they're charitable organizations or quasi-governmental organizations, things like that? Why is that even a role, and why do they decide that? I mean, if we had that $350,000 as a community, couldn't we decide if we want to give it to a charitable organization or to
What a novel idea!
Huh. How about that?
Now you did do some figures.
Yeah.
You're the mathematician this morning.
Well, no, I just have a calculator.
Yeah, thanks, iPhone.
I know. Comes in handy.
It's the rough estimate of how much was initially asked.
Well, the ask was without Boys and Girls, Mississippi Arts and Entertainment, and also the Children's Museum, which they were awarded about $150,000. So you figure the ask was at least $100,000 more than that, because we don't even have the amount that the Children's Museum asked. You're looking at about 1.25 thereabouts, possibly more, as far as the ask.
Between 1.2 and 1.5.
So they gave about a quarter of that, somewhere along those lines, 25% given, awarded. Wow. But it just, like I said, your role is we don't give you money. You take our money to spend on things like, paving roads, educating children, all of those things. But I don't know where this idea of giving $350,000 to just disperse amongst the community among different organizations or events that you think are worthwhile. Why is that even a factor?
I got a couple more comments. I know we got a phone caller on the line as well. Yeah. Appreciate Michelle's comment here. She said constituents deserve to know how their elected officials vote. I totally agree. There's no doubt about that.
100%.
There's no such thing as government money. It's all taxpayer money. Absolutely. No doubt about it. And Miss Lawanda, one of our faithful viewers on Facebook, says, the council uses YouTube to avoid the comments.
Oh.
So people don't comment on the meeting.
Well, they can comment here.
Yeah. I'm looking at all your comments right now.
We'll call in and comment either way.
Absolutely. And also, too, do you hear a knock at the door?
Hello.
This is Shad White.
Oh, come on in, Mr. White.
Can we get him over
here? Can I get you a cocktail? Yeah, what you need? A cup of coffee?
Yeah, exactly. We'll put him up for a night, and he'll straighten some things out.
Right.
Hey, caller, good morning to you.
Good morning. It's me again, guys. I was just going to comment about the $500,000 scoreboard at Ray Stadium.
Oh, gosh almighty.
I've never in my life seen a waste of money that the school system is putting in right now. That $34 million bond issue they passed that they didn't need was a waste. But there again, I found out in the city of Meridian, it's no need to fight a bond issue because they bust people to the polls that hadn't ever paid any taxes and never will pay taxes.
Yep.
And they have no reason not to vote for it.
Yep.
And I will say this. Like I kind of got involved in when they built that 9th grade building over there, with the Meridian High School, with the say, we got to do it. We got to get them 9th grade scores over there to bring up the scores for the Meridian High. Guess what, guys? It didn't do a thing to bring up the scores at Meridian High School to have the 9th grade on the same campus. And the reason I was against that, we had plenty of square footage where they were at. They just wanted to move them to a new campus to get the scores up.
Yeah.
And it didn't do a thing. And now we're spending money on scoreboards that's not going to do a thing to get the scores up for the kids.
Now, come on, Tony. Now, these other schools have got them, and we need one, too.
Well, let them waste their money.
Exactly.
There we go.
Right.
Hey, I got a novel idea. The turf out there at Ray Stadium, how that was paid for? A group of folks got out there and busted their tail to raise the money for it. Mm-hmm. If you want something nice like that, get out there and bust your hind tail and go raise the money for it. Or hey, I got a better idea. Let's discipline the kids a little bit better on the team too, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a waste, guys, and like I say, it's no need to fight the bond issue because I'm sure when they use this money up, they'll go back for another one and get it again.
Don't say don't say the words bond issue too much. I'm not going back out to Clarkdale to vote again. I'm not doing it again.
It just goes back, guys, to the let me ask you this question. I really don't know. Is the the school board inside the city is appointed by the mayor. Am I correct?
Correct.
Okay, and the council has to approve them. So they're not directly, nobody's directly elected by the people.
Correct.
Directly.
Correct.
You know, it's kind of like, you know, well, the worst mistake in the county schools we've ever done is for this legislator to take away the right of the people to vote on the superintendent, because I found out how uncaring he is toward the taxpayers, that he won't meet with them, and he's just, you know, like I say, if you had to be elected every 4 years, it makes you a little more responsible to the people that's paying your paycheck. You know?
Amen to that.
Yep.
And I just hope that going forward that, you know, we're going to be able to elect the school board, who is our people that will be responsible to the taxpayers and not to the administration. And that's what we really need to have in our county schools. And I wish it was that way in the Meridian schools. So it's absolutely just going to be. And when you get in there and look at the millage rate that the schools get, that actually it costs more to run the schools than it does the city of Meridian, and it costs more to run the schools in the county than the county government gets.
Yeah.
And it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
It just makes you sick on your stomach when you think about it. You know, but guys, I appreciate y'all bringing this up, even though I get riled up about it. But it's good. It's good to know that y'all on top of this stuff and the waste and abuse that we see in our local government. You know,
absolutely. No, and
thank y'all for.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how things are going to play out today at 9:30. It's going to be interesting.
Yep.
Are y'all going to cover it?
If I didn't have so much to do here, I would. So, but
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So.
You're going to have to rely on others then. Well, hopefully, you know, Rob, y'all could, you know, have what I ain't going to call him a plant, but somebody that'll call you and tell you what's going on, you know, and give you some inside information.
There you go.
A spy.
A spy, exactly.
That's right. Well, thank y'all, guys. Appreciate what you do.
Appreciate you. See you. All right.
Bye-bye.
601-485-9191. Got another comment coming in here on Facebook from our good friend Zena. Says nonprofits like Meridian Little Theater, the Meridian Symphony, and the Art Museum bring in revenue to the city. All nonprofits have open books. It's a requirement.
Okay.
So, so there you go. Some more comments.
And I don't think that we had too much of an issue with, I guess it was just the Museum of Art that got the grant from the council. I don't think the Symphony nor the Little Theater. Yeah. Either they didn't have an ask or something, but yeah.
Yeah, the Meridian Museum of Art is on here. $5,750 request, $5,440 is what they were approved for. So let's go back to the phone line. Hey, caller, welcome in. Oh, okay. We'll try another line here. Let's go to line 1 here. Hey, caller, good morning.
How are you doing again?
Hey, now.
Morning.
I had a just great idea. Why don't we just build Lauderdale County just build another big building out in the county, and maybe the county could fund the Jimmy Rogers Festival, and we could have the festival in the entertainment outside of the city limits. Therefore, there'd be no tax base for them. You know, just a thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my opinion again.
All right.
Sure. Yeah. Keep it going, but right.
There you go. So always appreciate those opinions again. So 485-9191 calls are flooding in. Good morning, caller.
Hey, how you guys doing this morning?
Hello.
All right. How you doing?
Great. Let me get the business out of the way first. I'm gonna say a big happy birthday to my wife of 37 years, Miss Hattie Johnson. That's coming from you.
All
Lovely
right.
chick this morning. But look now, Robin, most of the time you and I, we on the same page about things, but you said something and you kind of glazed over real quickly. You made some, allegations, implications would be the operative word about discipline. You said maybe try to discipline the ball players on the football team. Well, you said on the team, we were talking about the football field, so I'm assuming you were talking about football, so at Meridian High. So do you have any knowledge of any?
Yeah, there was a few instances of some. I don't care to discuss it on the air, but yeah, there was a few things that happened internally. I just can't discuss on the air. It's confidential. So.
Mm-hmm. So would you say that those things were ingermane to other, athletic programs? What I'm saying is that I think that was a kind of unfair shot, and I've never had to challenge you about anything on the air, but You know, and I'm blue and white inside when it comes to the Wildcats. And you know, when criticism is warranted, I'll be the first if I feel like it's not above board. But to just make a blanket statement like that, because my ears went up. I'm like, whoa, 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 what happened? And I'm sure me being as close to the program as much as being a fan and being in and around individuals who are in the district, and I haven't heard of anything. And when you said that, it we need to, sometimes the statements we make can garner the wrong kind of response. It can start an I spy, go looking for situations. Because now I've not been aware of any situation that has happened. Or maybe you're privy to more information than I am now. I just thought that statement was kind of reckless on your part.
No, it's not.
That.
I mean, it could be reckless by some folks, but I do have respect enough for the program not to air dirty laundry on a public forum like this. So I just know of things internally that I just can't discuss. So.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, but you do. You is my point well taken? You
yeah, absolutely. And also, there's other things that I take issue with the program as well, as far as how I was treated toward the end of my career out there that I can't discuss. But that's another time as well. So.
Well, if anybody mistreats you, they're gonna have a problem with me. Now, you know that.
Oh yeah, I could tell you some stories how I was treated my last 2 years out there, but I'm not going to air that dirty laundry out here. So.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well, then, like I say, then again, I guess you're privy to information that I'm not. Well, I was just wondering if something had gone on or was going on, because I know that around the Wildcat Nation football team with the recent hiring of Coach Gandy out there, there's a lot of excitement out there concerning the program, and I know that everybody, that want what's best. And yeah, I'll be the first to say that the scoreboards and turf and all that's not going to do anything for grades at any school, as one caller alluded to. And I have no problem with what you said about, hey, do it the hard, old-fashioned way and get the community involved, and let's get out there and put some blood and sweat in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with all of that, but I'm not against the kids having good facilities and things of which they can be proud when the other teams come in and play you. Back in the Gap when Ray Stadium heralded the quintessential high school venue in which to attend, other schools really, really fancy about it. Then it was just well kept and so big, and it would be filled with fans, and that's the most intimidating thing to any team coming in to see the stand filled with fans. So, but anyway, I just had to. I couldn't let that go, and you know how you and I we're passionate about that, which we believe, and I just appreciate you giving me an opportunity to say that, and you all have a good day. And again, I just want to say happy birthday to my wife, Hattie.
Good shout out for the
of
wife.
Everything in this phone call, most important thing was that.
Yeah, you know it. Just say it again.
Say it again.
Come on now.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and Chick brings up a good point. I certainly not disparaging the kids or the program or anything like that. But if there were issues, then let's get those solved. And it's for the benefit of the kids playing ball that we solve those issues. And one thing, the scoreboard. I mean, have pride in your record. You know what I mean? And that's the important thing. If someone comes into Ray Stadium and Meridian's undefeated, that's your pride, not the scoreboard. I mean, if you go, 2-6, and they come in and see a fancy scoreboard, who cares? Well, you know what I mean? But the pride is in the program, not in the facilities.
Well, and the problem the program has had over the last several years is just the safety going to a football game, period.
Okay.
Because, I mean, when you have to go through so many security measures that they've had to go through, I mean, when they had the incident out there at a pep rally, they had to cancel a game with a local team here in Lauderdale County against West Lauderdale. I mean, I think they've addressed those issues as much as they can, and they're still going to address those issues. But
and that's not fair for fans like Chick or anybody else
and
that wants
it's
to go
not
to the
fair,
game.
but it is kind of where they're at right now. So real quick here, we're going to go ahead and lead on up to the top of the hour here. Got a comment here on Facebook. Interesting comment here. It says two numbers. $95 million, the amount of money the city is obligated to spend on sewer repairs paid by bond issue. A year when EPA consent decree for sewer projects concludes, city has no money for police, schools, utilities, let alone charity. And it says it's all on the city website if you dig for it.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
Interesting.
How many million?
95. Well, it's two numbers. It says 95 million, then 2039. I'm assuming that's
That's a year that has to be completed?
I guess
15
so.
years from now? Okay.
Exactly. So I'm just reading directly of how it was typed in right here. So, yeah, two numbers.
It is
$95 million, then 2039.
And it is somewhat cavalier for them to say, oh, we're just going to give 30,000 here and 50,000 there. And, and those numbers, it's almost like they don't mean anything to them because they've got that, what is the city budget, 90 million or so?
Yeah. Like that.
So, I don't think they realize that, that's the annual salary or more than in some cases or in many cases of a lot of their constituents, and they're just kind of throwing that money around.
Yeah.
Here's 50,000, 90,000. And you can plead the case that a lot of those organizations are worthwhile and they have an important role in the community. That makes a good point. But should the city be funding them? Then they become a city agency, aren't they? Essentially. Yeah. I mean, and is the city now in the business of running charities?
Yeah,
or
exactly.
Anyway.
Let's see. Another comment here. It says the city figures it's cheaper to pay the EPA fine than to fix the problems.
Yeah, that's probably true.
That's probably true on that one. So, but yeah, it's amazing. One story carries the entire 2 hours of Mornings in Meridian.
Well, there are a lot of questions here and a lot of things that aren't answered. And and really the transparency is the big issue. Where's this money going? What's it for? And if they had 30,000 going to state games in Mississippi for use in this, and this is how it's going to be spent. Dollar for dollar. Yeah. This is what we're doing.
Exactly.
And, which I just randomly selected one. I know the folks who run the state games, they do a great job, and I think they're very
fantastic.
But,
yeah.
It just was the first one that popped up.
Yeah.
Anyway, but we would like to see, where all the money is going for all of these donations. Well, grants, whatever you call them.
Yeah, what can you get? I mean, donation grants. I guess you have to use the word donation. That's how they list it.
As a donation.
It says amount received or amount requested. So
I wish I could donate my taxes or choose to donate or not,
Or
it's not a donation.
Or as someone else brought up earlier, can I get $5,000?
I'd like a donation.
Is that the Meridian stimulus package?
Yeah,
the Meridian stimulus package. Well, it's been a fun show this morning, folks, here on Mornings in Meridian. Appreciate your phone calls. It was a very busy show this morning. Got Glenn back on the way here in just minutes, followed by Clay and Buck. Of course, the great Sean Hannity. He'll be fussing about something at 2 o'clock
He's
today.
An angry man.
And then my man, Joe Pags, on your drive home. Charles, been fun. We'll do it again tomorrow.
We'll do it.
Very good. Appreciate you folks watching on Facebook as well, and, of course, online at WALTmeridian.com. Folks, have a good day, and what do we always say? Buy local. See ya.